Hey y'all, listen, come on in because Love and Marriage Huntsville is back and we are definitely going to be talking about it. All right. Definitely gonna get into this review for this episode. But before we really get into the review and things that took place on this particular episode, I would like to go ahead and let you guys know that I absolutely can the fuck not stand Trisha. I do not like her. I would like to like her. But she by like her entire storyline is annoying along with her for me. Okay. Um I'm just over her. And I honestly feel like, in my opinion, that she damn near got the same man in Ken. To me, like, yeah, Ken may seem a little different because of how he may take care of things financially and him showing up as a dad to children that aren't his. Yeah, but when I see clips of him ready to fight and throw hands a bit, and I could be prejudging this season right out the gate, it's like, damn, you really ain't no different than fucking Marquez because you be going from 0 to 100 too, it seems. Right? But all in all, like, I'm slick. I hate to fucking God that Carlos brought these people back to the show. I feel like you could have did more scouting to have Ken and Marquez and Trisha on this show. Gives lazy to me, just a bit. And some people probably gonna eat up the storyline, right? And y'all might, and that's y'all personal. I'm just giving y'all my personal, okay? Not to force it on you, girl, but just giving it to you so you could just hear it, all right? But I just think they have a whack ass storyline, but what they're dealing with may be something a lot of people are dealing with at home, so it's relatable. But at the same time, it's like you couldn't find somebody else. You couldn't find, like, it was no other high profile couple in the area that would want to do this show, that you had to bring them back. But anywho, let us get into it. So Tisha is teaching her girls how to pretty much grate cheese or whatever on an old fashioned cheese grater. And I'm like, we definitely evolved from that moment. But I guess if you feel like you want to teach your kids something, okay, cool. Now she over there looking at MJ, and MJ like, don't look over here. She like, what? She like, what you think? He was like, yeah, you about to ask me to come over there and help, and I'm not trying to. She said, well, I'm trying to get you prepared for college, because you may meet you a girl and this and that. He said, well, good thing you don't go to college for girls. I said, I know that's motherfucking right, MJ. Let your mama know how you gonna be focused on them books. But we don't know for how long. But okay, right. So Marceau says that he and Tisha have the longest standing marriage out of the Scotts. Right. He says the longest standing first marriage. So obviously somebody went and remarried. And once they remarried, they about been married as long as him and Tisha. My thing is this: one thing Marceau gonna try to do is always give credit to him and his marriage. Give credit to their relationship as if it's just this strong and it's this amazing thing because we've been married for so many years. But I feel like him saying longest first standing marriage, it's like, sir, you comparing yourself to them other folks and they relationship about more intact than you and Trisha's you and Tisha's is, with them being on their second damn marriage or whatever, whichever number, because he made sure to put emphasis on the first out of the Scots. So somebody else may be married as long as them or longer than them, and they may be happier in their shit. But he got to try and differentiate things so he could feel like they on top. Only for him to turn around and say they've been together for 19 years. The next year will be 20, and it's gonna be a decade. I said, a decade? I said, damn, he's so smart that he dumb as hell. And next thing you know, Martell said the same damn thing about Tisha ass before the episode was over with. Now, Wanda finally returns to the show because you guys know she was banned from being on the show, and she is now returned to the show. And she asked about Martell in the podcast interview that he and Ariane did when they were trying to expose Marceau's mistress or whatever, side chick. And so she wants to know who the hell was the woman and if there was any truth to the story. Of course, Marceau has his way of talking about things to where he's not going to ever give you a direct answer. And Tisha doesn't want to talk about it either because it seems like she about don't even want to upset him. So it's like, we ain't talking about that. We ain't talking about that. So she tries to cut the conversation off. But one thing about Wanda going to get her words out, period. All right. So Tisha says that she doesn't care in her confessional, right? First of all, her mama says, you need to care because you're not saying anything, girl. is the issue. And him not saying anything is the issue too, because that's a reflection on not just y'all, but also our family as well. And then people get to doing all this talking and this and that. We don't like all of that, right? Tisha goes in her confessional, says she don't give a damn about none of that because Marceau has proven himself to be her protector over the years. Y'all know what Tisha gives to me when she's talking. I feel like listening to Tisha in this moment in the confessional confirms even more for me that they are indeed separated. Still married, have a complete understanding, but they are separated from each other. I thoroughly believe that. It's not changing for me. I just expected her to say more than just say that he's proven himself to be a good protector of me over the years. I just would have expected more because when you're talking about being a protector, we talking about of the heart too. Now, yes, no information has come out to prove that this man has been a cheater, right? There's been things, but nothing that's fully been concrete to confirm that Marceau has cheated on Tisha. Do I believe Marceau has cheated? 1,000%, and it's not going to change, okay? Do I believe that he's actively doing it or has done it in the past 5 years or so? Not necessarily. Not necessarily. Mm-mm. Especially when Mel and Martell shit came to the front. Yeah. Mm-mm. I don't think they got enough backlash. I don't think he would have wanted to add that to the backlash, and I don't think he would have wanted to do anything to make Tisha get to the level to where she wants to divorce him, to where he is now financially compromised, to where he has to pay child support and Tisha gets a good large percentage of his company. He wasn't finna be asked out like that. So he learned from Martell's situation. But has he cheated on Tisha in the past? I thoroughly fucking believe it. The way he wanted her to be at home, be a housewife, I'll provide this, I'll do that. Nah. Nah, that's a nigga that would take random trips and be on some, hey, I'm finna go over here. Cause I'll never forget season one time. He didn't tell her ahead of time that he had to, I think, travel to Houston or something like that. And she was like, what, you gotta travel to Houston, whatever it was. And she had to figure out what she was gonna do with the kids, because I think she was trying to get back into working or whatever it was. He used to go and travel a lot too. So I don't care when nobody talk about he's definitely cheated on her. But as far as more recently, in the past 5 years or so, I don't believe he has. Well, I mean, nothing has been as concrete to confirm that. Okay. But if you've hung with Martell, it's definitely giving, birds of a feather flock together, 1,000%. I mean, shit, we was hearing stuff about them having folks down to the barbershop where Reese used to work. Maurice used to, and they used to have people twerking and doing all this other shit. If it wasn't at the barbershop, it was at the building him and Kimmy got now. So it's like, these people be on whole shit. Like, let's not. Okay, proof or no proof. So, she talks about, no, Wanda believes that Marceau is a liar, and it's like, now y'all be coming. Now we be seeing the fans go back and forth. Oh, it ain't no information. Y'all ain't never proved that. Da, 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 da. Well, listen, even her own mama feel like the man a liar, and he about to did some shit. Now, granted, she could be speaking and projecting from her own experiences, but I'm just saying that's what the own mama is thinking. So even if the audience never came to the front and said a damn thing, mama was gonna feel how she feel about Marceau. Tisha asked her mama, why you don't like this man? She said, because I don't like how he talks to you. He talks to you like you're a child. Tisha often acts like a fucking child. She's never and very rarely put her goddamn foot down when it comes to Marceau. Okay, I feel like she just started doing a little bit of that last season. So we'll see. Keep putting your damn foot down, because what Tisha did not know, and I need her to always know, is BITCH, you have the leverage in my personal, not only with the children, but with the brains as well, because he ain't got them all, but you do. You fucking do. Okay? This man would not be where he is today if it was not for her. And if you think if Marceau thinks that Tisha can't go out here and bag her another man before the money's out, you're insane. Okay? Beauty and brains and got her own bread for real. Like, yeah, cut this shit out. So, anywho, Kimmy and Maurice. So, Maurice's son is looking to go off to college, and he's trying to figure out which colleges he's going to go to that's more so in Alabama. I feel like Monster don't want to go to school in Alabama. I don't know why I think that, but I'm like, I don't think his son wants to go to school there. I think they mentioned Troy, and then he also mentioned Ole Miss as a school, which is like one state over. But he'll probably do Ole Miss. I think he wants to kind of get from up under the thumb of his dad, potentially. So we shall see. He could go to Michigan State if he want to go back up there where his mama at. Mm-hmm. Is it Michigan State or is it University of Michigan? Whichever one is go blue. He could go there. Now, Kimmy started speaking to him about choices in college and making the best choices and everything. And here go Maurice. Speaking of that, let me ask you about the DUI. Has anybody talked to you about the DUI? Now, first of all, I'm thinking that this dumbass man is about to come to his son, educating him about the importance of not drinking and driving and how to handle, police whenever you're pulled over. I'm thinking he about to have a conversation like that, but instead he uses the conversation for him to push a narrative when he to his son when he's really talking to the fucking YouTubers. So he pretty much says, did you hear anything about the DUI situation? Anybody approach you? And his son is like, yeah, I've had people to approach me. He was like, well, who? He was like, well, my friends. Well, what they say? Well, they just made jokes and stuff like that. Oh, okay. Well, did they crack jokes when it was dismissed? And he was like, nah. He said, now see, that's the problem. That's the problem. People always want to be in your business, that have they comments and have things that they say and this, that, and speak on your life and stuff, but they never do anything. They never do their homework when it's all get updated. And it's like, boy, shut up. Shut up. Just because you were pulled over for a DUI and the case was dismissed does not mean that your ass was not driving while under the influence. Are you okay today? Are you okay today? But congratulations on having it dismissed. Okay. Anywho, I still believe he was driving drunk. If anybody asks me, I still believe. Clearly, it was confirmed under the court of law that the charge was dismissed. Okay. However, I believe that it could have been a technicality on the behalf of the officer. Maybe they didn't read him his rights or something like that. Maybe it was how they handled the situation. Maybe Maurice didn't have anything on his record, so he was able to get it dropped, based on it being a small town or whatnot, Huntsville. And maybe some attorneys know some other attorneys that know judges, ain't no telling. But I still believe that his ass was driving drunk. So Kimmy and Maurice have investment property, which is a restaurant that they're working on getting up and running. That I guess it's already running, not necessarily sure, but it's the investment property for them that Marceau is working on. But he's very slow when it comes to working on projects. Okay. I feel like Marceau doesn't work very quickly on projects unless millions of dollars are involved in it, honestly. But anywho, we also learned that they are making progress on the Scott Manor. So hopefully we'll see that this season and see what's going to come along of that. Now, she says that Chris Fletcher took a job at the Scotts Brothers by pretty much hinting at the fact that they get their side chicks to sign NDAs. So she asked Maurice, have you had any side chicks sign NDAs? And he was like, I haven't had anybody sign an NDA. So she starts laughing and she said, that's the wrong answer. And he's like, what? She's like, you don't get how that's the wrong answer? You should have said, I don't have a side chick at all. I don't have one. And he was like, but that should be obvious if I'm telling you that nobody has ever signed a NDA. Yeah, but nobody may have signed one. But again, it doesn't mean people won't say that you still don't got a side chick, So that's why she wanted you to say that. Anywho, so she over there laughing, and honestly, y'all, the whole time she was laughing at it, Kimmy reminds me of somebody. Maybe it's Kimmy. Maybe Kimmy reminds me of herself. I hate when Kimmy laughs at a situation when it deals with her husband to downplay the situation at hand. She always laughs. But when it's the other lady, she be ready to go toe to toe and call about it, whatever the case is. But when your man have you feeling some type of way, you like to talk to him like he a fucking baby. And you like to talk to him like, it's not that serious. It's not that deep. No, the fuck, it is. It is. It is. I want you to put your foot down with your nigga like you put down with these ladies, okay? Getting on my damn nerves. So, anywho, Destiny has been licensed in real estate for about 19 years, and she just now starting to use it. I feel like Destiny may have mentioned something about real estate when she first came on the show with her and her husband, but I don't recall for sure. Because I thought that's what her and Kimmy were supposed to be doing, but then they ended up going left because they had like a little issue with each other. So I don't recall, but she says she's been licensed in real estate for 19 years. She's just now trying to actually get into it. And honestly, Destiny, I hate that you waited so long. I hate that Destiny waited until she was damn near down and out. For real, not damn near. Waited until she was down and out to now start a real estate career. You could have been did that a long time ago, and whatever L's you were taking with that ex-husband of yours, like it wouldn't matter because you are financially sound. Now, granted, I understand if you didn't want to start it while in that marriage because he probably would have got a piece of that coin. But as soon as that divorce happened, signing on a dotted line, I feel like you should have started tapping in, especially being a part of this show. You should have started tapping into that real estate network for sure. But she gives Martell his order of the Madani candle months afterwards. Like, first of all, I guess he ordered it last season or something. And because he said months ago. And I'm like, why you just didn't give it to him months ago? Like, literally, like, why you just didn't bring it to the reunion? Like, what? Anywho, she asked him what's been up with him. Of course, he's been dealing with the children and Ariane. Of course, we already know that Ariane dropped a photo over there on her IG page where she pretty much announced her and Martell being together, labeling the post as me and my man. So they are together, but we kind of already knew that they were together based on the video or the photos that surfaced of them being at an event where Miss Nell caught fire for taking a pic with Ariane. But even before that, we knew they were together when they were caught at the game and Ariane went live and they posted pictures, not a game, but a concert, and they taking pictures and hugged up and all up with each other. But it was also a bit confusing because he was also with Sheree at the time. But honestly, we all knew that him being with Sheree was really a scheme and a scam. Okay, that was really for, I feel, Real Housewives or whatever. I feel like that was a little mini PR relationship they had going on. But either way, I do feel like that was a bit disrespectful to the woman you saying you with now, because you was with her the whole damn time. But I guess, she's used to being disrespected because she's put herself in that position to be disrespected. Her willingness to be a man's side chick. So, anyway, girl. Anywho, he talks about how he's trying to put her through nursing school, speaking of Arian. And then he also says if she keeps acting right, he's going to give her a ring or something like that. Okay, whatever y'all decide, I could care less. This is the same woman that he referred to as a peasant many years ago, and now he says he doesn't feel that way. He hates that he called her a peasant or whatnot, and here we are. Okay, I do feel like he might as well be with her, considering the fact that he literally ruined his marriage over it. I don't think he should have even had a relationship with Sheree or anybody else. He should have automatically jumped into a relationship with that woman, but he spent so much of his time trying to get back with Mel only to realize that Mel don't want you. Okay, so there's that. Now he says when it comes to Arian, she's a good parent and he feels like she's a good girl and he's lucky to have her by his side. And I said, yeah, because she been by your side on the side for damn near a decade. Okay. Hey Marceau, hello. But anywho, she's been on your side for about that long, so might as well be with her. Okay. So Martell inquires about Lance and asks Destiny what's going on with that. She's like, I don't know what's going on with that man aside from a baby. Because I found out 10 minutes after he texted me happy Thanksgiving that he done gave birth to a whole nother child. Like, so what is that about? Right. And she says, I feel away because he never told me about it. And with him not telling me about any of that, once the news dropped online, I was the one that got attacked for it. Okay. Child, listen. Let me tell you, people, we always go up and go up against a lot of these men when they be out being trash as hell. But for some reason, when it comes to the cast of Love and Marriage Huntsville, all of that shit go out the window based on who people like and who the fuck they don't like. Okay. Um, mm Knowing if Martell did some of the same behavior to somebody else, we'll be on Martell's ass. But if somebody else did the same thing to the same exact thing Martell would do to this woman, we will figure out a way to excuse it. That's why I don't be here for all that girl shit, because people be so picky and choosy. Like, if you're not going to be a girl 100% of the time, then why the fuck is we talking about girls? Anyway, let's move on. So Martell says, woo, he is glad to not be on social media. And Destiny said, don't act like that. Don't act like you don't be on social media, boo, because you do. You do. You do. You gonna sit up here and act like you ain't gonna do a whole podcast about this man? Cut it out. Get it together. So Martell says, no, they deserve that. I mean, like, they've been coming for me and I'm not gonna let nobody, keep coming for me and I not come back. Like, that's just what we on. He insists that this woman was Marceau's ex-girlfriend or whatever it was, side chick. He insists on it. Destiny tells Martell that she has been through what he's been through with social media backlash and, due to it involving other cast members or whatever. She says, but I'm not out here making videos because the road to vengeance doesn't lead anywhere. And I said, well, Destiny, are you sure? Are you sure you weren't doing videos? Because I could have sworn you were doing videos with your therapist saying shit. So, are you sure, love? So, Destiny wants him to get back to the boss that she knows. And Martell says he hears her, but he not letting up on nobody that's coming for him. Okay, child. Now let's get to Ken and Marquez, because the last time these two had a chat, they talked about Ken overstepping his boundaries as the father of Marquez's kids. Now they're having a man-to-man conversation and they're trying to work on their relationship. Now Ken reassures Marquez that he can never take his place, and he says he is only there to assist him and to make sure that there's peace all around, right? So Ken tells Marquez that, or at least he lets him know that Trisha don't feel like she could trust him. And Marquez says, it's cool. I get it. I understand. After all this time, she can't trust me. He said, it's cool. Let us set up a play date. And I said, a play date? A play date? You want to be talking about for your daughter, like a play date? Then I said, well, you know what? Maybe a play date could consist of like some top golf or some bowling, you know what I'm saying? Something, maybe some pool or something like that. Maybe that's what he mean by like a little piece of a play date. So, okay. Then he gonna say at some point, maybe we'll be able to take a trip together. I said, oh, baby, that'll never happen. Unless it's a cash trip, you won't be going on no trips. So Nell talks about Lance struggling with the baby, even though this is his third child. He's struggling with the baby. And Chris is working on his home builders class. And I said, that's exactly what Martell needs to be. Exactly where he needs to be studying with Chris. So we learned that they actually have two grandbabies because Lil Chris and Lance both welcomed children. Okay. They said they were a little surprised by Lil Chris because I do believe this is his first child. They also talk about how being grandparents has come in and shook up their life a bit. Let me tell y'all something. I actually feel bad for the Fletchers a little bit with these extra kids coming into play, especially Lil Chris, because not only did you get your ass arrested last year, your mama had to come out of pocket, and then you, who are likely not even where you need to be financially, and because your mama had to come out of pocket, you go out here and you father another fucking child, which is now also going to fall on them at some point. So whatever money she thought she was gonna get back from her son, she not getting it back. On top of that, here's your grandchild. Help us out with this one. Yeah, the grandparents gonna show up. Period. Okay, they gonna show up. They gonna be there and all this and that. But at the same time, I kind of felt a little bad for her. Like, damn, it don't seem like they could catch a break, can they? Anywho, so Martell is planning to stop by, okay, because Chris lets her know that. And Nell, she's not over this Polo Classic photo that was taken with her and Aaron. She feel like it was a setup by Martell, and it led to her being drugged by the fans, because the fans can very well be ruthless, okay? So she was concerned about that, but then also I think she could have been concerned about the friendship she had at the time too. So it looks like this was her first time meeting Aaron, according to the photos, in my opinion. And Martell, when he gets there, he lets her know that, listen, I didn't set that up. Okay, Nell up there complaining, talk about I don't went down to the social media. I got my natural hair out and everything. And I'm like, Nell, your natural hair actually look good. You actually have some really nice natural hair, in my personal, if you ask me. But okay, so Martell pretty much lets her know, like, I did not set that up. I know what it's like for somebody to do something like that to me, so I would not do that. And I actually feel like I deserve an apology. I don't think she ever apologized to him, but like, boy, you will live. So Chris brings up Tisha's podcast with Carlos and how she insinuated a lot of stuff on there. And Martell says she's so smart and dumb all at the same time. I said, I just said this about her husband. So Martell says moving forward, he not gonna let nobody play no games with him, period. I'm not doing it no more. I'm coming out swinging. I don't give a damn about how y'all feel. Y'all never cared about how I felt. So yeah, y'all had so much to say when I did what I did with my wife, and y'all had things to say and chimed in on it. So guess what? When it's y'all turn, I'm chiming in on it too, and I'm gonna contribute to it too. Let's get into it. Okay, so Martell asked about Lance having a baby on Destiny, but of course they didn't want to say anything. They wanted him to ask Lance, and I said, well, wait a minute, because Nell, weren't you a person being concerned about who Destiny was talking to? And if you weren't last season, you definitely gonna find yourself in that same place this season. So why don't you let them deal with it on their own? Why you always up in everybody else's business? Expecting answers from them, but when Martell asks you a question, you prefer that he go to your damn son. Like, girl, fuck you. And the whole time he was dating Destiny, you knew he was dating somebody else too. Child, let's keep going. But they was just dating. Were they exclusive? Doubt it. Were they girlfriend, boyfriend? Doubt it. Let's keep going. So Ken and Trisha are opening up their gym. I do think that's a good idea for them. He tells her he wants her to be more confident in him and know that she has his back. The fact that y'all been together for what, about 5 years or so, and you still having to tell her that she could trust you, she could confide in you, and you got her back, Ken, that means to me that you're not that great of a guy, and as perfect as you like to play yourself out to be on this fucking show. Okay, especially when y'all got into it and the way you sat up there and tried to air her out when shit wasn't going your way. Okay, so he lets her know that his talk with Marquez went good, and she feels like Marquez talking to him is because there's a motive. Yeah, the motive is for him to be on reality TV because he's always wanted to be an actor. That's definitely the motive. So Marquez says, no, not Marquez, but Ken says you got to give people a chance. Okay, and she says, yeah, but he still haven't seen his kids after saying he would. All right. So she feeling a way that he hasn't shown up for the children. Now, Trisha at the house and her friend Sharon stops by. And Trisha's giving Sharon the latest deets of what's going on with the divorce or her and Marquez when Marquez walks into the house unannounced. So she like, hold on, keep it cool. What's going on? So he's coming in and she says that he's moved back. Let me go back. So she says she's trying to keep things cool because she be wanting to snap off on him. But she try to keep it cool for the family. And that's that. Okay. So then Marquez walks in the house without knocking or whatever. And the friend, which is real weird, because when he comes in, the friend said, well, hey, Marquez, since you here, I'm sharing. First of all, BITCH, you're in somebody else's house and you don't know this man. Why do you feel the need to just automatically, hey, since you here, I'm such and such? You acting as though y'all have had conversations through the phone or something like that. Like when I tell you who I am, you'll remember who I am type of shit. And shame on, in my personal, shame on, what's her damn name? Trish, because you should have let your friend, you should have did the introducing before she could say anything to him. Whether I like my baby daddy or not, none of my fucking friends are going to sit in my house and be on some, hey, such and such, since you here, I'm da 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 da. Okay. Huh? And then the fact that you know my name and I don't know who the fuck you are confirms that you been talking shit about me. So what's what? Because you'll never have nothing nice to say about my ass. So what's what? Right? And I know some people may feel like, well, Jami, he a bad father. He this and that. I hear all that shit y'all talking about. But at the same time, what I'm saying is, this ain't your fucking house. So hey, while you here, I'm such and such. Like, bitch. And if the roles were reversed and he's sitting there with his friend and she walked in the house, right? And his friend was like, hey, Tristan, you here? I'm Calvin. What the fuck? Like, I don't need to know who the fuck you is, Haki. Like, what you told this man about me? Like, what? I'm confused. Right? So I do feel like that friend had a bit of weird energy out the gate. Like she familiar with him or something. So he coming in there and he like, okay, I'm confused. You know what I'm saying? Like, you need something. I know you or whatever it was. And she said, well, you coming in here like you trying to get at something. What? He's like, I just came in and dropped my daughter off. I just came in and dropped my daughter off. But I'm like, the more he kept talking, I said, both of y'all weird. The way he continues to talk and continue to say shit, and the way that she said, granted, I do feel like he was responding and reacting to her energy, but at the same time, like, both of y'all weird as hell. Right? So Marquez, yeah. So mind you, we also hear that Marquez said that he was dropping his daughter off. Okay. Now, Trisha, anywho, so Trisha, I personally feel she be doing too much to me because she was ready to argue with this man. Ready. Soon as she came in, when he was like, I just came here to drop my daughter off. Like, you talking to me like I know you, so I didn't know if it was something we need to talk about in this moment or whatever, right? So she's like, oh, how you got your daughter? Tell her how you got your daughter. Why does it matter how he got his daughter if he just had his daughter and he's dropping her off? Like, are you okay? He's dropping her off. And come to find out, her brother Xavier was going to go pick her up. His dad said, don't worry about it, son. I'll pick her up. What is wrong with that? What is wrong with a dad telling his son, don't worry about it. I'm going to go pick your sister up. I'm her daddy. I'm going to go pick her up. You the one that's been complaining about him not seeing the daughter, not seeing none of the kids, not coming around. Now he trying to come around. How did you get the daughter? How did you, like, that's why everybody's a fucking problem to me. And so She brings that up, and then Tisha and Marquez over there arguing. Xavier, the son, comes into the room, and then he's like, "Oh, this is God's saving grace right here. I'm finna go. We about to go out to eat or whatever the case was." And then Xavier kept telling him, "Dad, go outside, go outside." He didn't tell Dad to leave. He said, "Dad, go outside." So what it sounds like to me when Marquez says we finna go out to eat, he was finna take that time to go spend with his kids to take them out to eat. Right? But Trisha's still over here arguing, complaining, arguing, complaining, arguing, complaining. Xavier trying to complain, trying to tell the dad to go outside, and Marquez pissing me off because you still going. Don't say that your son is calming you and trying to remove you from the situation if you still gonna be running that damn mouth. But Trisha got exactly what it is that she wanted: an argument with this man that his dumb ass continued to feed into and contribute to, and then also being able to tell the friend, "You see the shit I have to deal with. You see what I'm putting up with." Like Trisha, I just, I don't feel like she's fully innocent. I'm going to always give her a props as a single mama holding it down when that fuck nigga chose to leave 1000%. But then at the same time, it's like, ma'am. I feel like some of this could have been avoided had you just told your friend hold off because she don't know him. Like, how would she like it if you was at her house and she just bust out and said, or you just bust out and said, "Hey, such and such, before you go, I'm Trisha." Okay, and how are you relevant to me and my story? Why do I need to know who you are in particular? Yeah, I don't know, but I'm gonna let y'all leave y'all thoughts and comments down below on the matter at hand, honey. That's all I got. I'm Jami, that's me, and I'll catch y'all in the next one. Bye.
Tell him I preach to the choir. Stand with my feet to the fire. Give all the glory to God. Stand in the midst of these haters, I'm silent, nobody can stop me. Just gotta check in my notification, them numbers hit like it's a praxis. Cash died at the ATM, and the ATL, they done made a gym. I've been kicking doors like the ATL, got them trying to clone me like agents. Game time, I invade the gym, high elevator.